everyone, it's Samantha from Scrapmaster's Paradise. I am blog hopping with the Pocket Source today. I am on the blog team for the Pocket Source, so I'll be sharing tutorials and ideas over on the Pocket Source blog starting next week. I am about 60 days into my first Project Life experience, and I have absolutely loved it, but I have changed the way I do things. I've quickly realized what has worked and what hasn't worked for me, and today I want to talk about that experience with you guys, and I want to show you my album progress so far. I am a tiny bit behind, just by a couple of weeks, but for the most part I've been really trying to keep up with my Project Life from week to week. So for one thing, I started out doing my Project Life typing up everything. I did not like my handwriting, and this is my week number 1. Everything was typed, and I continued to type for a couple of weeks, and then I got really lazy and just started handwriting everything. I've handwritten everything the last few weeks, and I like that much better. Typing everything up was just such a pain. It took a lot longer, and it slowed down my process, and it wasn't quite as fun. So I just decided to embrace my own handwriting and just do the easiest thing, which is write all my journaling. And that also helped me be able to journal on smaller things, whereas here, you know, I'm journaling on a whole card. I could actually split it up and just write a little bit here and there. And so that's one of the major decisions I made, was to probably not type up any of my journaling moving forward. It's just a lot easier to just write it out. And I also realized the more photos I had for a week, the better I liked it. So I try to cram in as many photos throughout the week as possible. And I do a lot of collage prints. Even on my week number 1, I was doing some collage prints like this. And I use some apps for that. I still use the same apps I did when I first started out, and I absolutely love the apps. I use them pretty much every day and document my pictures and all that stuff. I have a link down there to my video on the apps, and explains how they work and shows you my process for editing my photos and things. And for my whole process, I've been pretty simple about embellishing. I do like the embellishments, but I don't like to overwhelm everything with tons of embellishments. I don't do tons of layering. I just add a couple of embellishments here and there to my cards. If you're struggling to keep up with your Project Life, or you're getting bogged down in the details and the process, I've got 3 bits of advice for you, and these are bits of advice that I keep in my mind when I'm doing my Project Life, and that's part of what keeps it fun and what keeps it going. And the first one is, it does not have to be perfect. I know so many of us are perfectionists, and it's easy to really start being perfectionistic about getting everything just right, getting the photos just right, and it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you get those memories down, that is what makes it perfect. You know, life isn't perfect, and if you keep that in mind, that it doesn't have to be perfect, it'll just make your life so much easier when you're trying to Project Life. My second bit of advice is, don't get bogged down in the products. Use what you have, or subscribe to a kit and just use what's in the kit, and don't get bogged down trying to have the absolute latest and greatest products or the perfect embellishment for this, that, and the other. Whatever you got is wonderful. I subscribe to the Studio Calico Project Life kit, and I'm trying to use that kit up each month, so that helps me kind of narrow down what I'm going to use, and I don't get bogged down trying to look through my whole room for all sorts of embellishments and things. And my last bit of advice is, have fun creating your memories. You know, these memories you can look back at years from now and just have fun with it. Have fun coming up with your pictures, and have fun creating your album and documenting your memories. It is a fun process, and the more I try not to make it perfect, the more fun I have making my album. That's basically my process. I try to keep it simple. I try to do lots of photos. I try to incorporate quite a bit of journaling and some simple embellishments. To me, the simpler I can make everything, the more fun it is for me. If I started to think about every little thing and trying to make it perfect, it definitely would end up being stressful for me. But so far, it hasn't been stressful at all. I absolutely love my Project Life, and I love already I love looking back at my album. So I'm just going to walk you through the whole thing. So here is my cover for the year. I did process videos for every week in this album. So if you want to see any of those, I will have a playlist of all my project life from 2014 linked down there so you guys can watch any of those that you want. So here is my cover. I just kept it simple. I put a picture of our house. I put a picture of us. That was actually at Christmas. I got a picture of our bird and all of our dogs. I put all the family here. I put our ages here. So that's just my cover page. It covers the basics of our family. For this first page, I talked about all of our goals for this year. I've got some crafty goals, we have some family goals, we have 3 main big goals, and then we each have our own personal goals for the year. And so that's just kind of a reminder of where we're going for this year and what we're going to try to accomplish. And so my week 1 just covered right here. And then I made a couple of traditional layouts. I like to mix my traditional layouts in with my Project Life book. And I have a tutorial on how you can mix these up. I'll put the link down below for that as well. And I just like to incorporate 12 by 12s in there. And this is my week number 2. And here is my week number 3. And then I've got week number 4 here. And then my week number 5 starts on this piece, goes on this page, and then finishes on the back here. And then I made a bunch of 12 by 12s, traditional 12 by 12s for week 5 and week 6. So these are all just traditional layouts here, mostly of the dogs and some snow pictures in there. And this is the little girl I used to nanny. So I covered her face up for privacy. And I've got a picture of the dogs. And there's my last of the 12 by 12s. And then this is my week number 6. I did a front and back on this piece. And then I had a Design A page as my last of the week 6. And that is as far as I've gotten so far. I've got a couple of page protectors in here to hold some things. And then a piece from 2013 I'm still not finished with. So as you can see, I don't stick to 2 Design A pages a week. I don't stick to a certain number of pictures or a certain size of pictures. I just kind of go with my creative flow. I do a lot of collages. I put in some 3 by 4 photos. I do some 4 by 6s. I also do vertical and horizontal. And I even mix in some traditional 12 by 12s. So I just kind of go with the flow wherever my creative mojo goes. And this just goes to show you can do your project life absolutely however you want and make it work for you. You don't have to stick in with any rigid guidelines, and you can just do however you want. So I hope you enjoyed looking at my first 60 days of project life, and I cannot wait to share more tutorials and ideas with you guys over on the Pocket Source blog. So be sure to head to my blog if you're over on YouTube and start hopping around. I'll have the links to the next person on the list. That is all I've got to share with you guys today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, check out my blog, make sure to blog hop with us, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.